What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have some big news in today's video, especially for this week. We have some news related to Powell, and then we even have some important data coming out this week. But either way, make sure to stick around to the end. We have some great plays, and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below, and we'll probably take a look at them in tomorrow's video. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, Mike, last week, the S&P 500 took a bit of a dip after those Fed minutes came out, and they really showed that they were tapering their bond purchasing, and we saw yields start to rise last week, and it's just not good for the market. We saw the SPY took this huge dip, and Powell's going to be testifying again this Tuesday before the Senate Banking Committee at a hearing to confirm his nomination to a second four-year term, while Fed Governor Lael Brainard is going to appear in front of the same committee 2 days later for a confirmation hearing on her nomination to the vice chair. This is going to be pretty big. You know, Powell's always, any type of event where he's speaking, it normally gets a lot of attention. So I expect a lot of traders are going to be looking at him speaking on Tuesday pretty objectively, but just keep in mind, you know, he's just going to be talking about his nomination. There might not be too much, you know, market details thrown into this one.
For sure. So that's interesting there. But Tom, I know we also have some decent earnings this week. Like I know Tilray and a couple other big ones are reporting. So what do we have in stock?
Yeah, Earnings Whispers put out their chart. We have Tilray on Monday, and then actually at the end of the week, we have a couple of big ones. We have Delta Airlines on Thursday, which is going to be huge. And then on Friday, we have the big banks starting up. We have JP Morgan, Citibank, and Wells Fargo. And the bank stocks have been going crazy lately. So that's going to be very interesting towards the end of the week. But on Monday, we have Tilray coming in, pretty big marijuana stock. So that's going to be a very interesting one. And I know if we go look at Tilray's chart, they got a bit of an uptrend on Friday ahead of these earnings.
Yeah, you know, Tilray earnings are always 50-50, but everyone knows that Tilray is just one of those crazy stocks. Over the past year, it's been doing just very, very bad. But, you know, then again, it goes on these horrible downtrends, and then out of nowhere, sometimes it'll just go on a multi-week uptrend. So that'll be interesting, and they report earnings before the market even opens. So tomorrow morning, definitely keep an eye on Tilray.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. And if Tilray ends up moving up, expect some of the other marijuana stocks to maybe go up in sympathy with them. Sometimes we see that happen, sometimes we don't. But if Tilray's up big, possibly expect stocks like CGC and others to do well. It looks like CGC even did well Friday too.
True that. All right, Tom, what other major news do we have for this week?
You know, we have some big inflation data coming in. I know we talked about Powell earlier in the video, but we actually have pretty big inflation data coming in on Wednesday. I have the economic calendar here by Trading Economics. We can see that Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to have the key inflation rate year over year coming out. This is going to be huge for the market. Everybody talks about these core inflation rates quite a bit. And whenever it comes out, apparently the CPI is expected to be breaking above 7% year over year. So we'll have to see how it ends up going. But in the end, there's going to be a lot of news associated with this inflation data, and it'll probably drive the markets pretty well. I know that the Feds and Powell pay a lot of attention to these numbers.
True that. All right, well, good stuff there. And let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first momentum play, we have Alibaba potentially to the upside.
Yeah, with Baba, go ahead and make them break out above 134. This could make for an amazing trade on Monday.
Right. With the next one, we have Corsair also potentially to the upside.
Yeah, I really hope to see these guys up this week, but go ahead and make them break out above $21 even.
Sounds good. And with the last one, we have AMD potentially to the downside.
Yeah, AMD unfortunately was down pretty big last week. Make them fall below the 130 support.
Sounds good. So we're watching AMD for a potential day trade to the downside only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. And we are watching Baba and Corsair for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow only if it breaks above the level Tom listed. But with that being said, let's give our shout out to our member of the day, which is the Real Gecko in Discord. So thank you so much for all of your activity, and I know you've been in the chat for some time now, and you know we really appreciate all the information you provide, and you know the way that you help other members. So huge shout out to Real Gecko. Thank you for all you do. And let's get right into these comments from the previous video. With the first comment, we actually have JW saying check out GPN for the long for the long hold. Way undervalued right now, and it's on its way back up. So let's take a look at GPN. You know what? It is having a pretty nice uptrend, like in the short term. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I don't own this company, but like I said, I heard a lot of good things, and their long-term chart does look pretty good.
Yeah, it really does actually. Like if we look at them on the daily, they've been really recovering up here since bouncing around their 116 to 120 support. And like you said, Mike, this company is pretty big. It's used by a lot of people. You can see I brought up the website here. They're actually used by MGM Resorts, William Hill, Churchill Downs, and even FanDuel. And I know FanDuel has been a pretty big competitor to DraftKings lately. So it's pretty big to see that they're used by those big companies. And to be honest, like the setup does not look bad. I will say, though, it's been pretty much straight up since it hit this bottom support, though.
You know it. And while we're on the topic of FanDuel, with the next comment, we have GGG saying, let's go DraftKings. So DraftKings was having a pretty awesome week. Or I guess it had a good Thursday and Friday, we'll say. It wasn't an amazing week, but it had some good movement on Thursday and Friday. The after hours movement on Friday was pretty awesome. And they actually went live in New York this Saturday. So that should be huge. You know, it's right ahead of, I guess you could say, the national championship for college football. We have the Super Bowl coming up. So, you know, going live in New York's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, it really is. It should bring in a lot of customers for DraftKings. And like you said, their close on Friday was extremely strong. And then even their after hours movement was great. If they can break up above $28, I'm going to really watch DraftKings. And with them coming out with that application on Saturday in New York, I think that's going to be pretty big, especially in pre-market for DraftKings. Like we might see DraftKings get a pretty good pop. So definitely throw it on the radar. I know I'll definitely be watching it, and I might even wake up early in the morning to watch it.
There we go. All right. And then with the next comment, we have traders saying, what do you think about AGIL for the long run? So I've never heard of this company, but I definitely don't like the chart action we're seeing. It's very close to being a penny stock. It has just been on like a straight downtrend for the past couple of months. It's just not really a play for me.
Yeah, me either. Unfortunately, it's just the chart setup, like Mike said, has just not been well. Ever since they kind of gap below the support at like $8, it just has not looked good too well to me. So I don't know. It kind of looks interesting though on the daily setup. It almost looks like it's inversing that downward movement it had, but yeah, it's just not a play for me either.
Gotcha. All right, and then we have Craig saying, "Hey guys, what do you think about NET or DOCU?" So looking at NET, it doesn't look bad. It's been on a pretty awesome uptrend lately, or not lately, but it's been on an uptrend like over the past couple of years. But over like the past couple of months, it's been on a pretty bad downtrend. I would consider this one for a dip buy, but they also have earnings coming up, so I'll definitely keep it on my radar.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. It's in a pretty good sector. I mean, I think it's pretty decent, but in the end, though, it has been dipping quite a bit. It could obviously keep going lower, but there is a pretty big support here, right around $100 even. That might be a pretty big level for it.
For sure. And then the next one is DOCU. This one is really dipping down. We're getting really close to that $120 support. I've been like considering this one for a dip buy, but like if it gets closer to like 120 or maybe 110, I think that's when I would start my position.
Yeah, really smart, Mike. I think that's really smart to wait on this one. It really looks like it's starting to turn over a little bit. And ever since it seems like we fell below that 150 support, it just has not looked too good. And we failed to break out over the past week or so. So I'm definitely going to be looking at it to the downside also. And I could see it falling below that 125 level.
There we go. And guys, I just want to say, if you like the video, please consider subscribing. We're really trying very hard to hit 50,000 subscribers. So if you like the video, we greatly appreciate it if you subscribed. But Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything for tomorrow?
You know, I had a couple setups that I really liked to the upside. One being DraftKings. I just really liked that setup there in after hours. I know we already mentioned this one, but it looks pretty good. And honestly, it's just one of my favorite stocks. So of course, we're going to talk about it whenever it's looking hot like this. And then another one I was really eyeing up, Mike, was Fastly, FSLY. I thought they were looking pretty hot last Friday, kind of like DraftKings and a lot of the growth stocks. A lot of growth popped on Friday. So I'm going to be looking for them to possibly break up above this $34 resistance. I think that'll make for a pretty good trade. And then another one I was eyeing up was Peloton. They also had a very good Friday. And if we see these growth stocks start to go up, maybe Peloton will finally recover. Man, this one's just been straight down. At least we've seen stocks like PayPal, for example, start to consolidate a little bit down here.
True that. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And if you trade options, definitely check out the first link in the description and the comments down below for daily option swing trades, day trades, custom bots, and access to an awesome community. You can cancel at any time. Other than that, thanks for watching.